Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lineup. Got a special guest here in the studio. But first, our weather. Brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. They have open house this week. All registration, all kind of neat things going on at Haney. So check them out. It's really a good time to go by and check them out. Now, high today is going to be 87 and low is 78, and that's the key to this whole heat is these lows in the morning. When the low's only 78 degrees, it's muggy, folks. It's still warm when you get up at daybreak in the morning. So that's a heat pattern we're in, and these thunderstorms are popping up. We've talked about this the last month and so. We get plenty of rain, and that's just a pattern we're in. And pretty soon now, the fall coming up, it'll be drying out some. Water temperature is all the way up to, folks, 87.4. That's the hottest it's been all year, 87.4. That's extremely warm for this time of year. River readings, take a look at Apalachicola, Bluntstown. Our NOAA reading is right now at 5.3. The river's in good shape. They're just not, I'll be honest with you, I got a lot of friends down at Howard Creek. I talk to them off and on a regular basis. They're just not catching a lot of fish right now. They say about 2 more weeks is going to be right, but it's not, and I talk to, these people, they know, they live down there. So be aware of that. Chalkatchee, Caryville, 6.1. It's still falling out a little bit, but it's in good shape too. It's warm right now. Not a lot of brim biting. I've seen a few being caught, but be aware of that. Tide chart: Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home. Today is the 25th. Good tides today. We've got a low tide. Well, actually, the high tide is right here in the middle of the day, 11:56, and low tonight at 9:28. Got a 1.6 foot movement right there, and the marine is going to be becoming a little bit stronger today. Wind will be a little bit out of the west at about 10 to 15. I will take a break and come back with our special guest. All right, welcome back, folks, and welcome to a familiar face here on Panhandle Outdoors. Officer Travis Bassford.
Good morning.
Good to have you, Travis.
Always good.
Get a lot of compliments on Travis being on, but he brings a lot of good information. So what's been going on?
Man, a little bit of everything.
All right.
We've been busy, but today we've got something really important to talk about.
In fact, I need to go now. If you'll go and take the rest of the show.
Go ahead, I'll take over. But anyways, Bay Scallops opening day. Mm-hmm. Opening day, highly anticipated across the Panhandle, especially right here in our area, and we're hoping for a good year. Mm-hmm. I know I've heard a lot of different mixed reports, but we're going to find out soon enough, I guess, when people get out there and start getting them. So I just want to talk a little bit about bay scallops, and then like we do every year, safety first, we'll go over some die flag stuff.
Yes.
So today's opening day, and our season, it's not going to be a full season, but we have our normal bag limit. That's per person and per vessel. So the zone I'm talking about is the Gulf County zone, west bank of the Mexico Beach Canal through the westernmost point of St. Vincent Island in Franklin County, and that's July 25th through September 10th is going to be our season. Shortened season, but our normal bag limit, which is 2 gallons whole bay scallops or 1 pint of cleaned meat per person, and then you have the vessel limit of 10 whole gallons or a half gallon. A lot of people get the bags. You can get a bag, you can get a bottle if you're going to clean them. However you want to measure, just make sure you're following that bag limit. So what have you been hearing over there? And I know you went over there and said you did some scouting.
Well, we've mentioned it on the show a couple times. We went over there July 4th was that week and all rode out there. We're not seeing a whole bunch. We're not, they're going to be scattered. Yeah, and like I say, the count went up to 7, per triangle, and that's from the researchers and all. But that's extremely low compared to average of 50 per triangle over the past 20-something plus years. So it's low.
Right. Well, I know people are going to be looking for sure. So hopefully we get some good weather and people at least get out there and get in the water.
And I mentioned this yesterday too. I know you see this too. I remember I said, the courtesy of, don't run up on other people and all. Keep a safe distance. And when people are out there scalloping, stay away from them. It's not a law or anything, but I always use a football field as be that far away as a length from another boat. Don't get any closer than a football field. We've used that for years.
That's a good rule, and especially if they got their die flag up, they need to. But And that's the thing. St. Joe Bay, beautiful place. I mean, we're blessed to have it in here, up here in the Panhandle, and we get to enjoy that and recreate out there. But it's a huge bay, but you know how it is. You know, after the first few days, word gets out, hey, they're not over here, they're over here, and before you know it, you've got 15, 20 boats stacked in there,
you see that,
pretty tight. And especially once we get toward the weekend, I'm sure. But like we do every year, and I hear Coach preach about it, and it's dive flag safety. This is going to be a lot of people in the water and a lot of boats on the water, and it can be a confined area once word gets out of where they are and where they're not. But so I'm just going to go over some of the rules here, and that way everyone knows, and it's kind of a reminder. There's actually a lot of regulation on dive flags. There's a lot of specifics that you need to follow, and it's all for safety, and it's also you can be seen by other boaters, and we don't want anyone getting run over or anything like that. So, and then when you violate that, there's penalties, and then there's enhanced penalties depending on what you're doing, because it is dangerous. And across the state, we've had several accidents where divers have gotten run over, and sometimes it's the boater's fault for not following the dive flag rule, and sometimes it's actually the diver that maybe didn't have a dive flag up. So we want to prevent that. So dive flags, we all know what it looks like. It's the red flag with a white stripe. You need to always have a wire or stiffener on the flag, and that is, if we lose a breeze or a wind, that flag's still going to stay out so people can see it. So make sure you have that wire going diagonally across it. And then one thing I want to talk about the size is we see all kinds of dive flags, all sizes and shapes. It needs to be square or rectangular, but when you're in the water, you see that one with the white float and the pole, and then there's a little line that a lot of people put on the wrist, and they tow that thing around. And that's fine when you're in the water, but when you're in the vessel, you need to have that bigger one. Minimum size of 20 to 24, and in the water it can be the 12 by 12. So don't put that little float one on the boat. If you're on the boat, we want the big one, so it's extra visible. And we want to make sure it's at the highest point. I see this a lot too when I'm out, whether it's a pontoon boat or a center console. They've got a T-top, a bimini. They've got the dive flag either in a rod holder or just leaned up here on the back of the boat, and you can't see it until you get right up on it, or you're coming from that angle. So we want it at the highest point on the vessel to make that visible, 360 degrees.
Good point there.
Another thing is we've got the 100 feet rule and the 300 for the most part. In St. Joe Bay, it's going to be an open water 300 feet rule. You need to try to stay within 300 feet or a football field of your dive flag when you're in the water. I got a couple more here. I know these gets redundant here, but there's a lot to do with dive flags. I just want to get this information out there. Here's one too that I see here in Bay County a lot too. Is when you're done diving, lower your dive flag. Lower your dive flag. When you get everyone on board, take it down, because what we don't want to do is desensitize people to the flag. When boaters see it, we want them to look, listen, slow down, and do what they need to do as far as keeping their distance and stuff. And then the last thing is for boaters, you need to stay a football field away. That's the rule. If for some reason you have to come within 300 feet, then you need to be at idle speed. And the definition of idle speed, completely settled in the water and no faster than is necessary to maintain headway or steerage way. So it's just barely putting your boat in gear and just enough to maintain steerage. So there's going to be times where maybe you're coming into the mouth of Presnell's or something like that, and people are out there diving, and you have to go within 300 feet. If that's the case, just bring it all the way down to idle, and you be looking, have other people on your boat looking for divers, and just ease through there.
And this is all common sense kind of things, but there's not a guarantee that everybody has common sense when they get on the water. And you're right. I've seen it happen like that. People don't respect that. Good rules right there, really.
Exactly. So
good, safe rules.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's take our break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back here. We're Officer Travis Batchelor. Got a couple of pictures you sent in last night. Tell us about this little girl here.
Oh, this is little Lila Marie Strickland, and that is her first fish, and she's super proud of that. So
big old smile.
Panhandle Outdoors.
All right, and then tell us the size of this snapper here.
This is a big federal water snapper. This is some friends of mine I've known. I've known that boy. He's Garrett Cullen. He's 16. He's going to be a junior at Bay High.
Okay.
And there's his dad, Kenny. And they went offshore this past week into federal waters, and that snapper The cool thing about it is 36-inch snapper, which is a big snapper. Federal, we've seen a lot of them this year, but that's a really nice fish. The cool thing about that is he caught that on that little trout rod right there.
Oh my goodness!
I think that was like a 4,000 reel, but that rod was just a flimsy. You know how speckled trout.
I don't know.
Light tip.
I don't know how he got it up with that
Yeah,
thing.
he said they were catching 16 to 18-inch snapper, and he threw that jig out there on that trout rod, and that big one grabbed it, and he was on for a fight then. So, but beautiful fish and a good day. That was a
well with that rod and reel. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool to get him in on that.
Speaking of summertime and all, a lot of people get out. They want to be shark fishermen and all. Want to catch sharks and all. That's got to be I guess a problem because a lot of people don't know what they're doing mainly.
That's right. That's
Seriously.
right. We've got a lot of responsible ones, but then we've got some, as always, that are going to break it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit and try to clear that up. I've had a lot of questions on that lately. And shark fishing, that's kind of changed in our area. Growing up, we used to have those half-hitch tournaments, I know, and they bring big sharks in. Mm-hmm. But over the past several years, a lot of sharks have become prohibited species and protected to harvest. So we do have a lot of sharks that you can harvest. Some of them have a 54-inch size limit, measure from the tip of the nose to the fork of the tail. Some of them don't have any size limit. That's all in our regulations pamphlet and online. But some of the big sharks that we get, the big hammerheads, the big tigers, the big lemons, they're protected. And you cannot land those fish. And the definition of land, just to let everyone know, is the process of bringing the fish ashore, bringing that fish on shore. So we have shark fishermen on the piers, on boats, and a lot of them like to go from the beach. So whenever you're catching one of these sharks and you get it up in shallow water, you get it right there in the surf, if you're on the beach or right by the boat, you need to identify that shark. And there's a lot of different ways to do that, and it's the responsibility of the angler to do that. But if you catch let's say a big hammerhead, let's say you catch a 10-foot hammerhead, and you're on the beach, you can't drag that shark up on the beach because then you're landing that fish. And what a lot of people are doing is, you drag it up on the beach and everyone wants a picture and open his mouth and all that. And by the time you get done doing all that, it's been 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and you've already fought that fish for an hour and a half. So a lot of times then the fish doesn't make it. So just want to let everyone know on that. A lot of people have had questions, and just know, hey, what can I do? What can I not do? And just want to make sure everyone's following that and know what you're catching, just like anything in saltwater, freshwater for that matter, but know what you're catching when you get it up.
Yeah, and they can leave it out in the shallow water. They can leave it in the water and get the picture.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what you got to do, folks. That's changed a lot over the years, but that's the rule now. It's a law, and it's a good law. And if you're scared to get in the water to take a picture of that fish, then you shouldn't catch it. Okay, if you're going to be brave, you're going to catch a shark, then you ought to be able to get in the water with them too. If you're not, just don't do it.
Oh yeah, take pictures, take video, do whatever. I mean, it's just like when you see people catch tarpon and stuff like that. I mean, they'll have him right there in the water. They'll get a picture and then put him right back in. So. Anyways, just want to go over that, and there are a lot of sharks out there right now that they're catching too. So
a lot of sharks, aren't they? We're hearing that too.
Yep, summertime, shark time.
Yeah.
So they're out there.
We were in St. Joe Bay the other day, and we had 3 different sharks, and we were traveling in one area, and we saw 3 different sharks.
Oh wow!
We're in a boat just riding slowly.
Yeah, a lot of bait out there, and they're out there. So, but so we've covered the shark stuff, and now I've been talking about this. So this has been going back and forth for a while. We'll go back to the reef fishery offshore, gray triggerfish. They talked about it at the commission meeting. They've been talking about it, and the commissioners directed staff to issue an executive order to reopen the fishery for a limited state season this fall. So a lot of people are encouraged by that. I know I've talked to a lot of snapper fishermen, grouper fishermen. They said, hey, there's triggerfish everywhere on some of my snapper spots, but we can't keep them. And at least in state waters, they're going to do that. We don't have the dates yet. They're going to do a press release.
Okay.
I'll be back on here talking about it, and we'll go over the dates and everything. But a lot of people are going to be excited about gray triggerfish at least getting a little bit of state season this fall because, again, I've heard a lot of people saying, hey, there's a lot of triggerfish on my snapper spots. So,
and the phrase you use, they were chewing the bottom off the boat.
Well, some people say that. So, but anyway, so that's good about trigger. They also approved the gag grouper season. We've talked about that a couple times over to the east of us. That's going to be state waters off Franklin, Wakulla, Jefferson, and Taylor counties. That's going to be opening, let's see, September 1st through December 31st.
That's a good deal there.
Yeah, because in years past they were always closed over there, and back over here to the west we were open, and So increased harvest and fishing opportunity for gag grouper over there.
Yeah, we're going to take a couple of those trips. There's some good fishing down there.
It is.
Yeah.
It's shallower, but there's a lot of fish over there.
There is, yep.
Yep, so good stuff. And then finishing up with the reef fishery, red snapper still going on. You know, we had I talked about the federal, extended federal season for private recreational anglers. That's going to be going on through September 4th, and we've got the Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, and then going to include that last Labor Day, which is a Monday, on there as well. So Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays for your red snapper, and a lot of people happy about that, and a lot of people enjoying that fishery this summer.
Oh, it sounds good. All right, we're going to take our final break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Here with Travis. Let's look at fishing game times today. We're looking at, this brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. Looking at 2:32 to 4:32 this morning, but this afternoon, 2:59 to 4:59. And that's going to be a good time to be on the water. Like I said yesterday, I don't know if scallop's going to do that feeding time or not, but the redfish and trout and the deer and turkey all do that too. All right, now, we always like to do our case of the month, and it just fascinates me. I guess you can say dream of the day where you come in here and say, Coach, I don't have a case of the month. Everybody will behave for this past month. You think we'll ever?
That'd be nice. I don't know if we're going to ever have that, but that'd be nice.
Okay, but it amazes me. So go ahead. What's our case of the month?
Okay, case of the month. I got another good fisheries case here in Bay County. And before I talk about that, we had a lot of good resources cases made across the region.
Good.
We had illegally harvested deer over in Gulf County. We had a lot of saltwater stuff to the west of us, and this is another good saltwater fisheries case. So I want to recognize Officer Keelan Brooks here in Bay County. He does a really good job for us. He was out on water patrol, stopped a vessel here at one of our bridges here in Bay County, and they had quite a bit of red snapper. The problem is they were all undersized, and they had 18 undersized red snappers. So,
18?
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
18 undersized red
snappers.
snappers.
A little over the bag limit, and then they were all undersized. And he had, I think, some other fisheries violations too. So some warnings were issued for some of the violations, citations for the others, notably the red snapper, and educated him on everything. But you got to know what you're catching. You know, it doesn't matter if you're offshore in the bay or in the river. You need to know what you're catching. And it was a good case by Keelan Brooks here in Bay County.
Good job, Keelan.
Yep.
You know, a lot of times y'all check so many people and all, and you used to tell me, you've told me this before, so many people are so nice and cooperative and all that, and they'll talk to you, and I know all of y'all, like I say, if I run those well boys today, I'm going to give them a hard time. I'm going to tell them I got scallops hit all over the boat. Y'all get in there, I got some money, I'm going to make them. But anyway, great relationship with FWC officers, but you see a lot of fish and all. In your general opinion, this summer, what kind of summer have we had on, say, trout and redfish and that kind of, just in your view of looking at them?
From what I've seen, I've been back home now almost 4 years, and it's been a really good year for them.
Okay.
I mean, it was, and I've talked to a lot of other people before about why it wasn't good the last few years, but and everyone's got their own opinion, but I've seen a lot of speckled trout. A lot of speckled trout, a lot of slot redfish. I know you said another tag fish got caught the other day, and we saw one of the tagged ones there in the tournament.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot, especially over in East Bay, North Bay too. Now that water has been really stained with all that rain, but they're still catching fish.
Well, you brought up a great point. I talk about it a lot. So all that, all colored and they can't see anything, but those fish still going to eat.
They will.
They're going to eat in tea-colored water. They're going to eat in clear water. They're going to eat.
That's right. Just like when it's rainy and cloudy, we still got to eat.
That's right. We may not grill outside, but we're going to go inside and get something to eat. So they may change their habit a little bit.
That's right. So,
also, y'all get to get offshore some, and y'all just bounce around to different places and all. Near shore, we see a lot of king mackerel, anything like. How's the king mackerel looking?
King mackerel run was good. It was strong this spring. This summer, we always get the juvenile kings, and I know we've went over that fish ID before, but Spanish have started to show back up on the piers. But we had a good run of kings, and then with the bag limit going up to 3 fish per person, a lot of people were happy about that. So it's been a real good year for them, I would say. The thing is, the charters, a lot of times this year with snapper slowing down, they'll target kings more, but snapper's still been going on, so a lot of people still hitting the reef fishery. So it's been really good. I'm just excited to see what people are going to do on these scallops, because I know a lot of people are really excited. I want to go. I know you're going.
Yeah, and we're talking about today's Tuesday, but really the biggest crowd is going to be this Saturday morning.
It will be.
Yeah, on the weekend. Most people working all, and they're all getting ready. It's a big traditional thing for so many people.
It is.
To just go out with your family and all. And again, we've said it over and over again. When I remember taking my kids when they would hold on, they'd hold on the side of my bathing suit. They wouldn't get away from them. Then now I've taken my grandkids doing the same thing, but still, they're getting bigger and all. But I still make sure those kids are real close to me, and you just even if they're good strong swimmers, just keep an eye on them. I told Gail I keep one eye down and one eye looking for scallops and one eye looking for the grandkids to make sure everybody's safe. So you see that too.
We do, and you're exactly right. I know it's going to be it's a big tradition over there in Port St. Joe. Blue Water is going to be packed, I'm sure, and it's going to be exciting. We're going to try to go, and you're right, the weekend will be the busiest time. We're going to try to slip over there maybe one day during the week when it's not too crowded.
And if you knew that, one of the keys, you could try to find these sandy spots and all, and get the grass around the sandy spots, and a lot of times that's where they are. And sometimes you're a little bit deeper, those sandy spots might be holding a flounder or two.
Oh, yeah.
And they're legal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll take my poke pole down there.
I always have mine on.
In case you see one.
Yeah. And what about what about mullet?
Yeah.
You can get mullet.
Yes, you can.
They're gonna be swimming by.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed bag. I always do this when I shoot one. I take them straight to the boat. I don't leave them dragging behind me with all that blood.
Well, that's true.
Seriously.
Yeah. If the scallops are thick, what we've done in years past is we'll go for the scallops and we'll have a little mullet tournament and see who can get the biggest one. Because they're out there too, and it's going to be fun. I think we're going to try to get out there and take little Isabella and let her dog paddle around.
I was going to ask you when you're going to take her.
We're going to try to take her this week or next. Hopefully the weather cooperates. We don't want to go out there when we got them thunderstorms really thick, but we're going to try to go.
Yeah, and I know, speaking of weather real quick, I'm going to go in just a second, but you see these thunderstorms pop up all the time when you're on the water, don't you?
Yeah, we're in that pattern now where it seems like either morning or afternoon.
Y'all just try to run from them? How do y'all do it?
Well, I've got this app on my phone, and a lot of times I can pull it up. I can see direction the storm's going, and a lot of times if it's not coming my way, I'll hang, or if it's coming, I'll try to run around it. Yeah. Yeah,
good
absolutely.
Deal. All right, I want to show you real quick how much. Here's how Travis takes this serious. He's got 2 pages of notes for Panhandle Outdoors. That's more than I do. Thank you, Travis.
I enjoy it as always.
All right, thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. You do something good for your fellow man. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.